It occurred to me the other day that there's a few things that I really wish my adoptive mom would have told me. I am greatly appreciative of the fact that I was one of the few children that got to be adopted when I was younger, but my adoption was shrouded in mystery, and I haven't seen official documents from my adoption. I low key think I am a missing person still to this day. So, to kick off this top 5 list of 5 things that I wish my adoptive parents would have told me, let's start with number 1. I wish they would have told me that I was adopted way before my 11th birthday. Because, yes, that is when I was told that I was adopted. I spent my entire life up until the age of 11 thinking the people that I called mom and dad were actually my mom and dad. They were not. That is the absolute weirdest way to tell someone that they're adopted. Every family deals with adoption differently. I just feel like, for me, I would let my child know as soon as possible. But then again, I wasn't in their situation. I'm not real big on judging how they should have done certain things in my life, but there are a few things I wish they would have told me. The second thing is, I wish they would not have told me that Santa Claus was real. There are some parents that think that this isn't a big deal. I am not one of them. I really took that as the first betrayal in my life ever, simply because Santa Claus was not just a fairy tale figure to me. It was almost godlike. It was something I felt like if I asked something of, and if I was good and I connected it, kind of like how you pray to God, I felt like if I was good throughout the year, that maybe Santa Claus would help my abusive family not be so abusive, and would help my parents' relationship work out, and would bring peace in my home. And that's what I believed. And my parents played into that for so long. And I'm talking about, they would have us bake cookies for Santa Claus. They would go through the whole process of me waking up and bites were taken out of the cookie and the footprints and snow, all of that. So I honestly believe that there was this figure that would grant me whatever I asked for if I was good. And the only thing that I asked him for was for peace in my home. So then when my parents stopped getting along, one year they just decided to not keep up the facade, and when I woke up and the cookies were still there and I said something, they must have still been angry at each other, because they were just like, what the F are you talking about? That shit's not real. You need to grow up type situation. And it really broke me, and I never trusted them again. Never. And it brought problems later on in life, because then how can I believe what you say about God or life when the biggest thing that you taught me to believe in ended up being a lie, and you so casually lied to me? So I wish she would have told me Santa Claus wasn't real before I put my whole heart and soul into believing into that man. The third thing I wish my mom would have told me is that I had value as a woman and how to protect my innocence. I never got a discussion about the value of virginity or my place in a relationship. I kind of just had to wing it and just watch her have a toxic relationship with her husband, watch her sisters have toxic relationships with their partners. And the only thing that I learned about relationships, honestly, that didn't come from the Bible came from media. Back then, we didn't have social media. I'm a child of the 80s, so it was literally just on television or video games or movies. So she never really taught me the strength that I carried because I was female. Honestly, I kind of got the message from her that being a woman made me weak and vulnerable. She did not show me my strength. She put a lot of emphasis on color, and I did not know that she was actually racist until I grew up and married a Hungarian man, and then found out that she did not like white people. She got very upset. I did not know that it was that big of an issue, but and I get you were born in 1941 or whenever she was born, and you've seen a lot of stuff. Like, I get that, but to raise a child to be racist is different than being color conscious, i.e., being conscious of your color and understanding that you can only go certain places lest you be victimized type situation. We're not judging people based off of their color. But yeah, I didn't know that she was racist. So then there's that. The fourth thing I wish my adoptive mom would have told me is that men are controlling. I wish she would have told me to never get married, especially not for love. I used to be a huge romantic, and my idea of what marriage was and what my marriage ended up being was not the same. I teach my own daughter about the nature of men. And I continue to learn about men, from men, how they think, how they move, and how they view women. This understanding that each person is an individual, but I'm talking about society and culture and all of those things that have to be brought into perspective here. And while I'm raising a mixed child in this world, she does need to understand how she should position herself when it comes to males and when it comes to society, period. It's very important to be told these things. Like I said, you need to be very conscious of what you actually are and what people perceive you to be, and then move accordingly. Otherwise, you can find yourself in a bit of a pickle that you might not be able to get yourself out of. She definitely should have taught me about the nature of men so that I could have protected myself. Now, I'm not male bashing. I'm talking about the nature of men. I'm talking about if a man walks up to you and talks to you, he wants your vagina. That's a conversation that every woman should have with their daughter. You should already understand when a man approaches you what they have in their mind and then move accordingly. If you don't know that, then you're going to believe everything that comes out of their mouth. And that is a problem when you are a young girl coming up in the world. Not everything that comes out of people's mouths is the truth. That is a perfect segue into the last thing that I wish my adoptive mom would have told me. And that is, people lie. People lie. You cannot believe everything that people say to you. I was like a freaking Disney character growing up. I did believe every single thing that people told me. Everything. Just like I thought if a man sleeps with a woman that they were in a relationship forever. I thought that. And it's just not true. I thought that all couples were married. I lived such a sheltered life. And I was left alone so much. Either I was outside or I was inside watching movies, listening to music, and reading books. So my perception of the world came from fiction most of the time. And other than that, I was just exposed to what I saw, which were unhealthy, toxic relationships. And so how can you become something that you've never been exposed to? So now here I am having to unlearn an entire lifetime of behaviors and taking self-assessments all of the time and working through my childhood trauma so that I don't repeat the same behaviors and pass them on to my kids. And that's what had me thinking about this the other day. I was sitting there thinking about my life and at what points things went left. At what point could a little bit of intervention have made such a major difference? Because I don't want to make the mistakes with my daughter that were made with me. And that's what had me thinking about, dang, I really wish my adoptive mom would have told me about this or that or this or that. So, and I keep saying adoptive mom just because that's very much what it is. We don't have the type of relationship where I feel like she's a mom or I would just call her mom. She really does treat me like her adoptive daughter. She hasn't spoken to me in 3 years, 4 years. She doesn't like me, and that's fine. I wish I had a mom. I don't. That's okay. And I love my kids. And so everything that I wish my mom would have told me, I make sure that I tell my daughter. And I use everything that I've been through in my life as a lesson, and I make sure to help other people that have been through what I've been through. Because in order to understand something completely, you really need to have been through it. So I honestly believe that I've been through what I've been through because I'm built to experience things and survive and then tell people my experience, and in some way that heals me and it helps heal other people. This is my service and this is my life. So I do it. So those are the 5 things I wish my adoptive mom would have told me. Do you have anything that you wish your parents would have taught you? Do you have anything your parents told you that you wish they never would have told you? Let me know down in the comments. If you are interested in checking out my music, it's available under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss, on all music streaming platforms worldwide. Thank you so much for spending time with me here in Fairy World. I love you. Take it easy on yourself. The healing process is a lifelong journey, and I'm here for it. We in this together. You're never alone. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next episode.